Have you ever been told, just start on site next week, we'll sort out the contract later? If you've been in the construction game long enough, you would have heard that line multiple times. But by starting works on site before a signed contract is in place, you risk having disputes in scope, program, or worse, ultimately costing you your profits. I'm Kevin from Cornerstone Estimating, and in this video, we're going to break down why this happens, the risks you take, and most importantly, how to protect your profits. Construction moves fast on site and waits for no one. Main contractors are under pressure by their developer, they have their own deliverables, and programs are always behind. You get pushed to start on site ASAP, and as their trusty subcontractor, you want to do a good job, you want to keep the clients happy, and hopefully lock in more future business with this builder. But starting works on site without a signed contract has some pretty big risks. Risk number one, scope creep. The main contractor adds extra surprise work and claim it was included in your offer. The exact situation happened to one of my clients who actually excluded subfloors in his offer, but the main contractor thought it was always included in his offer. But because no contract was in place, it made it really awkward disputing fundamental contract details while you're already on site building the job. Risk number two, payment delays. They can threaten to hold off payment until the contract is signed. This is a very common bullying tactic because subcontractors fold on this threat because they cannot risk the cash flow of their business. But in reality, subcontractors just unaware of their rights under the Building and Construction Security of Payment Act. Under Section 7, it says here, this act applies to any construction contract, whether written or oral, or partly written and partly oral, and so applies even if the contract is expressed to be governed by the law of a jurisdiction other than Victoria. Risk number three, no clear risk allocation if disputes arise. Key terms like variations, extension of time, defects, warranties, liquidated damages, securities, and retention are not locked in yet. The subcontract, when it lands, could try and implement all of these unfairly and pass it off as, oh, it's just part of our standard template. It may include harsh conditions like time bars, pay when paid style mechanisms, delay damages, etc. If you've already started on site, negotiating changes becomes more difficult, as the contractor will be leveraging your need for payment for the works already carried out to limit your bargaining position. Risk number four, program and liquidated damages. Which version of the program did you allow for on your offer? It's common that they would give you a program to reference in the tender, but will sign you up on the latest program once you're awarded, which will often shorten your commencement and duration on site. You will be expected to work off their latest program, which you would not have allowed for. You will already be in breach for LDs before you even sign the contract. By simply starting work on site, it can be implicated that you've accepted their commencement, their durations, and their milestone deliverables in their latest program. Risk number five, deemed acceptance clauses. Some contracts include a clause where if you start work on site, you automatically accept the contract in its unamended form. This is a little bit unfair, but if the main contractor has sent you a draft subcontract for you to review, you really should go through it and provide your changes quickly, because if you sit on it, the courts may uphold that starting work is acceptance by conduct. If, however, no contract has been provided to you for review, the enforceability of such a clause is much weaker, as you cannot be bound to terms that you have not seen. Either way, it's important to review the contract promptly and raise any amendments before commencing work. Otherwise, your ability to negotiate may be lost. So now we're going to go through how to protect yourself while starting on site. Step 1. Get something in writing. At a minimum, confirm the scope, the price, the commencement date, and the payment terms in an email. You could just write a simple email like, we note the subcontract is still under review and not agreed. Our commencement on site is strictly based on the tender program, and our quotation reference blah blah blah, and signed, scope of works, blah blah blah, and without prejudice to our rights in respect of subcontract terms yet to be finalized. Step 2. Request an urgent letter of award or letter to proceed. A letter of award is a letter to confirm that you have been awarded the work based on a few key details like the agreed amount, the commencement date, the completion date, so therefore the duration, and other key salient points. A letter to proceed is still a formal letter, but it's less commercial, basically saying that yep, you can proceed on site and you will be paid for those works. A letter of award is more powerful commercially because it sets out a lot of the high level details that to a certain degree both parties have discussed and agree on. right? In either case, either letter will formalize your engagement on the job, and it actually helps both parties commercially. It confirms that the tender is over and that you are the appointed subcontractor for the work. It creates clarity, accountability, and trust, and reduces the chance of disputes. And once you receive a formal letter of award or letter to proceed, you can confidently mobilize labor, equipment, and materials without worrying that the project will stall or that your cost won't be recovered. Step 3. Check the program. If a program was issued to you during the tender, or if there has been an updated construction program, please review this program when you commence on site to make sure your works are still on time and they are still achievable. If not, that is something that you need to flag formally in writing. That's where you need to follow your contract notices, timings for notice of delay clauses, so you are not time barred and not liable for liquidated damages later. Step 4. Payment claim. If by the end of the first reference month the contract still hasn't been signed, don't worry, you're still protected under the SOP Act. And the quickest way to overcome this without going to adjudication is to put some pressure on the main contractor and to make sure that he sends you the draft subcontract for your review at a maximum within 2 weeks after you've started on site. Then obviously you need to review it quickly and send your amendments for review and get this back and forth dance going between the two of you. And generally, above all, save all emails, get every verbal instruction in writing, take photos regularly, and start a timesheet/task sheet if possible. Starting without a contract doesn't have to put your business at risk. If you take these steps, you'll be managing your risks and making sure you and your profits are protected. If you need more help with this, whether it's with contract reviews or contract admin or protecting your profit once you're on site, that's exactly what we do here at Cornerstone Estimating. Hit that subscribe and that like button for more tips, and we'll see you at the next video.